All right, hello and welcome to a session of Fit Essentials. My name is Shauna. I'll be guiding you through. We're here in Roswell, Georgia today, just outside of Atlanta. Grateful for the beautiful weather and clear skies. So hopefully you can hear some of the beautiful birds in the background as we move through today. In the meantime, if you are wearing the bands, we've already added our air. And we're going to start from standing today. We got some balance work in our first portion. So let's go ahead and come on up to standing. We're going to do a little standing cat-cow to get some breath work going, and then we'll move from there. So stand tall, draw the belly in, send those hips back, go ahead and place the hands on the bottom of the thighs, right over top of those knees. And then from here, as you exhale, just like we do on the ground, you're going to lift up through that mid-body, draw that chin into the chest. And then when you're ready to inhale, nice deep breath if you can, in through the nose, lifting the head and neck, drawing those shoulders back. Let's go between 3 and 5 of those. Just meet you at your own pace. Get my words here. And those of you here live, if you're just having any trouble hearing me, if you could just let me know. Drawing those shoulders back and down. Good. Soft arch of the spine. About one more time here. Gentle arch. A little bit of a longer exhale on this next one. Coming into that gentle arch position to finish. And then when you're ready, push through your feet and come on up to standing. Very good. From there, we're going to use the little trees here as some inspiration and just start to flow, rotating side to side. Nice long arms. Turning through the head and neck as well. Good. When you're ready, let those elbows bend. Allow the hands to tap the front of the torso and the back of the torso. Looking to time the tap with your exhale. Good. Get some good warm up for the spine here. A couple more times side to side. And then we'll take it slowly to a stop. Back to the arms away from the body. And then gradually bringing it down to a stop. Excellent. From there, toe touch. Walk those feet in, toes pointing forward. Draw the belly in with that soft bend of the knees. Chin down to the chest. And go ahead and slide the hands down. See where your range of motion is here today. When you find your bottom range for the moment, breathe into your back, 2 to 3 breaths. On that exhale, see if you want to reach just a little bit farther down. Good. On that next inhale, start to come on back to standing. Excellent. From here, we're going to start to introduce the balance work as we warm up the ankles. So go ahead and draw everything up. Squeeze those shoulders back, coming onto one foot. We'll go into those ankle rolls, rolling through. Shoulders down out of the ears, palms rotating forward. Yep, and then change directions when you're ready. Rotate that foot the other way. Watch so we don't let that hip kick out. Very good. Same thing other side. Set it down. Draw it all up and in. Really be intentional about squeezing those shoulders back. Excellent. Changing directions there. Very good. All right. We're going to kind of warm up as we go here. We're going to start with some good mornings or warming up that hinging motion. And then we're going to be working a single leg deadlift. So when you're ready, set the feet. Draw everything up and in. Just a soft bend in the knees. You can take those arms either in front of the chest, over the shoulders, or you can go behind the head. From here, you're going to send the hips back, bowing forward, chin in, looking down towards the floor. And then depending upon how flexible you are in your hamstrings, ideally we don't want to go beyond about 90 degrees. So when your torso comes level to the floor or just before, stand up from there, squeezing your glutes as you stand tall, and then that long spine, practicing that hinging pattern. Very nice. Stacking those shoulders over the hips. Couple more. And last one, drawing that midsection in, sending those hips back. And then coming on back to standing. Excellent. All right, next movement, we're going to be working that single leg deadlift. If you feel a little bit wobbly, have any irritation through the hips, I would recommend practicing a single leg stance and take out that hinging posture. Otherwise, this is a great one to do without the shoes on to really grip that floor a little bit better. We're going to take a minute to practice alternating legs. So when you're ready, if you don't quite know, just watch me first. You're going to come up onto one leg. That similar position we just practiced, but now that back thigh drives up. And we're going to reach down for the floor, but we are still hinging at the hips. Come back to standing, and then you'll switch legs. Long spine, toe points down towards the floor as you hinge forward, coming back to standing and simply switching legs. So all those little cues that we practice, maintain a soft bend in the knees, and then really key here that hips stay level. We don't want to irritate that hip joint. Practicing that balance. Focus on driving that back thigh up as your chest bows forward. Very nice. Woo. There you go. Yep. Reaching down for the ground. Nice, Sharon. Good. Maybe one more time. Long spine, reaching down. If you know which leg you started on, try to balance it out so you get equal touches on each side. And then when you finish both sides, go ahead and take a little pause. We're going to go into some hip circles next. Loosen up those hips. 3 to 5 times in one direction. And then when you're ready, circling the hips the other way. Super. All right, we're going to be warming up a squat next with a single arm thruster. So if you feel ready to use a little bit of weight, you can grab a light weight. Otherwise, you can just make a fist and mimic it as you do. So I'm going to go ahead and grab a light weight. We're going to go 30 seconds on one arm, and then we'll switch 30 seconds on the other arm. So you're going to set that feet for the squatting position, set those feet rather, slight toe out, elbow up and forward. And then when you're ready, we're going to push those knees wide, warming up that squat, sinking on down, standing tall, nice reach up to overhead. Good. Breathing in as you control down, breathing out as you drive tall. Nice. Eyes up, chest tall, using that non-working arm to reach out, keeping that chest up. Super. Couple more, and then we'll switch arms. Bring that weight right up to the center of the head. 2, 1, take it to the other side. All righty, and here we go. 30 seconds on this second side. It's our final exercise of this circuit, and then we're going to go through it one more time, getting our body nice and warm. Ensure that you don't overarch as you reach up. Ribs tucked down, engage those glutes. Awesome. 10 seconds. And 2, 1, go ahead and take a rest. All right, feel free to grab a drink of water. Otherwise, a little side step arm swing. All right, we're gonna go back to the top, beginning with that good morning once again. On this second round, if you wanna hold a weight, you can either hold a dumbbell or a kettlebell right underneath the chin. You can also take it behind the head, kind of open up those shoulders and hold it behind the neck. So that's what I'll show here. Set the feet, toes pointing forward. No arch that spine. Draw that stomach in. With that soft bend in the knees, when you're ready, send those hips back, bowing down. Push to the feet and stand. Good. And now round 2 here. If you're feeling a little bit warmer, ready to move a little bit faster. Awesome. Over and up. Waking up the back of the body. You can almost think of it as a little bit like a standing glute bridge, but not quite as open as you get those hips. But we want to use it to mimic that positioning or that activation, squeezing the back of the body. Maybe one more time. Over, up, and take a quick pause. You can either set the weight down, or if you want to use that weight while we're practicing those single leg deadlifts, you can continue to hold on to it. So standing tall, toes still pointing forward. With that soft bend in the knee, we're moving back into that single leg deadlift. So you'll come forward, whoops, standing tall, and then switching sides. So I'm holding the weight in both hands, taking it down right in front of the foot and standing from there. Focus on that back thigh, driving high, hips staying level. Good. Not including the high knee today, but if that feels good to you, you're welcome to it. We're halfway through. We're gonna take in just over 30 seconds left. Continue to practice this one leg and then the other. Standing tall as you switch sides. Good. Every time you stand back up, reestablish that position. Very good. Nice, Amy. Good. You always can tell Kathy spent those years as a dancer. Good focus. Maybe one more time on each. Remember where you started. Try to give an equal touch to each side. Ooh. Good. When you do finish, instead of hip circles this time, we're going to do our figure eights. So just imagine you're trying to trace a little figure eight or infinity sign with the midsection. Loosen up those hips and then changing direction. Circle them around the other way. Wonderful. All right, 20 seconds until we get rolling with that single arm dumbbell thruster. If you went unweighted last round, but if you feel ready to hold a little bit of weight, let's go ahead and grab a weight for this one. Feet about hip width apart, just a gentle toe out. And 3, 2, 1, here we go. So we can move faster this set. You're still feeling a bit stiff, keep it slow. Breathing in and lowering down, breathing out, driving tall. Good. Eyes up and forward. Nice full extension to overhead. Trying to reach that shoulder right up towards the ear, pushing high towards the sky. Good. And switching arms. 2, 1, and 30 seconds on the other side. Try to sink in with your breathing. Good. Elbow up and forward. Super. 10 seconds. Rest breaks coming. Keep grooving. And 2, 1, and take a pause. Nice work. That's our first circuit. Should have gotten everyone pretty warm. Let's grab a drink of water. We're going to do just a couple stretches, and then we'll move into our second piece. We've got a new movement in the second group piece. First, quad stretch. So we'll continue that balance. Draw it back, grab the foot. Pull that heel towards the glute. Soft bend in the knee. I'm on my left leg. Take note of which foot, because in between sides, wide step. Open up those inner thighs in between sides. Cossack stretch or side lunge. Gripping the feet down into the mat, into the floor. Just that big toe down and then guide that knee wide. Wonderful. Let's get about twice on each side. Arms reach out, chest stays tall. Excellent. When you finish twice on each side, shimmy those legs back in, and then quad stretch will be my right. And then on up. Didn't forget it today. How many times have I been like, we're gonna do a little stretch in between sides, and then you're like, oh yeah, second leg. 10 seconds. All right, our combo move coming up is gonna be a burpee into a thruster. Go ahead and shake out that leg when you're ready. If you have two weights that are of equal, that's great, but I'm gonna show you how to do it without as well. I'm gonna come just a little bit closer. So I'm gonna have my weight right here on the floor. What it looks like is you're gonna come back. I'm gonna show the no push-up burpee today. And you're gonna step up. Really key here, lift that chest, establish that nice flat back position. I'm gonna stand up with my weight, take it to my shoulders, and I'll squat down and drive it up to overhead. Show you a little bit more fluid. Set the weight down, set my feet back, coming up, establish that flat back to the chest, squat to overhead. Okay, so we get down, we get up, and we press up to overhead. If anything's going on that doesn't feel right for you, this is our intermediate level, so make sure you make adjustments as you need. You could also just do a traditional stretch. After that, we're going to be doing a dumbbell row. If you've done the regular version with us already this week, we can practice that elbowing row. So I'll show you from the front. The elbow is going to go wide. Like if you were standing behind me or beside me, and I wanted to give you just a little bit of a love tap with that elbow, say, hey, get out of my space. All right, let me know if there's questions. Otherwise, we're going to get rolling here in 10 seconds. It's going to be 45 seconds to practice that dumbbell burpee. All right, everyone. 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Burpee position. You can step or hop to the feet, establish that flat back, and then all the way into the squat, up to overhead. Excellent. And come back down to the ground. If you're stepping, see if you can step up with the opposite side. Really key to lower those hips down, lift that chest. Moving from there. Awesome. Everyone looks good on the next round. Those of you that are here live, if you can turn sideways to your camera, I'll be able to give a little bit better feedback on the position of the spine as you're coming through. Very nice. We're going to go, I said 45, but we're going to go a full minute on this, get a little bit more touches in, because that's our 45 already. Very nice. 10 seconds left. Maybe one more complex. Down into the plank. Flatten that back. Full squat to overhead. 2, 1, and take that rest. Nice. Getting ready for that dumbbell row next, starting in 10. I'm going to show it from the face on. Again, either elbow close, or you can go that elbowing row, work that rotator cuff a little bit different. Here we go. Elbow wide, reach it forward, straight out. Excellent. And ideally, you typically want to use a little bit lighter weight on the elbowing row. So if you're fairly challenged on your regular dumbbell row, maybe stick with that or drop down in weight. We're going to go 30 seconds on this arm. We have 10 seconds left, and then we'll simply switch sides. Breathe in as you reach forward, breathing out as you draw it up. One more. And rest. Good job. Come on up, switching sides. Long spine. 2, 1, and here we go. Once you know the movement, I am kind of watching you all, so I don't demo this the best looking up, but you want to look down so that neck's not overarched. That neck is just an extension of the spine, right? So we want to hold the whole spine nice and neutral. Breathing in, breathing out. Awesome. 10 seconds. And 3, 2, 1, and rest. Fantastic. Coming up to your standing position. Now we're going to go into our lateral stepovers. Over and back. Pump those arms. There you go. Awesome. Let's circle those arms through. I like it, Amy. Nice full circles. All right. From here, you can either take a rest if you want a little bit of a breather, or you can kind of keep that motion going with a little bit of hopping this time. Some side to side. Super. 10 more seconds, then we'll take about a 30-second break. 2, 1, and take that pause. Nice job. I just need to check my time. All righty. We're going to go through one more round through those dumbbell burpee and the thruster bit. And then those of you wearing the bands, we're going to let that air out. So just be ready for after this first piece. Otherwise, starting in 10 seconds. Back to the top with that burpee into the thruster. 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Coming down. Strong support through the arms. Drop those hips, lift the chest, stand, and then squat to overhead. Nice. Requires your brain to do some focused work as well as moving the body. And I want you to learn that motion, combining those movements, start to move a little bit faster. Everyone here live has been with us for quite a while now, so I'm fairly familiar with your movements. But it's not something I would recommend if you got a little bit of a sore low back or a little sensitivity there. Just be smart. Just over halfway. Beautiful. Knees push wide, coming all the way into that squat. Maybe one more time through that complex. Whew. And 3, 2, 1, finish that set. Good job. We'll take 15 seconds and then we'll be back to the dumbbell row. Option of that elbowing row. Oh, air if you want to release it. We're at that 20-minute mark. All right, long spine. 2, 1, here we go. Elbow shoots wide, chin in, looking forward. Really nice. Strengthen the back of that rotator cuff, a little bit of that mid-back work. 10 seconds. There you go, pulling that elbow as high as you're able. Last one, and take it to the other side. Be intentional as you come into position. Ready, begin. Good. Eyes and chin in. Notice that tendency to kind of shoot that head forward. So think about retracting the chin back. Good, almost there, 10 seconds. And 2, 1, and take the rest. Great job, we're back to those lateral stepovers. Standing tall and moving right into it. You want to circle those arms around. Oops, I missed my high step. Imaginary hurdle, there we go. Woo! Yeah. Good, and then we'll get ready for that side to side hop. Or actually this round, I'm gonna go more of a quick feet, the high knee option. So your choice, be the rebounding last round, do a little bit more running in place. Driving those arms to the side. This is the end of round 2. We're gonna take it through one more time. And take a pause. 30 seconds, we'll be into our final round. Heaviest weights you feel comfortable for all 3 exercises on this last round. So you have 2 dumbbells to use on the dumbbell burpee. You can have 1 in each hand, similar to that renegade row. All right, friends, 10 seconds. Standing tall. Burpee into the thruster, and here we go. Send those hips back. Top of the push-up. Remember to drop those hips down. Lift the chest as you're picking the weights up off the ground. Bringing them to the shoulder, and that full squat to overhead. Excellent. There you go, good. Looking right between the hands as you lower on down. Good, halfway. Keep it rolling, I'm gonna come a little bit closer. See how you're all looking, nice. Sharon's hopping up to the feet, love it. Good position, Jean, nice. Yep, looks great, Kathy. All right, friends, 20 seconds, anywhere between 2 and 3 more, just depending upon your tempo here. Good. All the way into those squats, pushing high. Just under 10 seconds. And when you're ready, take that pause. 15 seconds will be into our last round of the elbowing row or the dumbbell row. So I'm gonna go a little bit heavier in weight and I'm gonna switch back into that regular row. You can use heavier weights, so I feel like it's always gonna be the most benefit. 2, 1, here we go. I got a 20-pounder, a little bit heavy for my elbowing row at this point in time. So now I'm just switching it back. But if you've got the same weight and want to continue with that elbow wide, nothing wrong with that. Focus on keeping that motion through the shoulder blade, reaching forward. Allow that shoulder just to slightly come forward, and then nice, strong, retracting it up and back. Good. And there's our 30 seconds on that side. Turn it around. Getting ready for 30 seconds on the second side. 2, 1, and begin. Very good. Eyes looking forward. Chin backing in. 10 seconds left. One or two more. And ready for those lateral stepovers. Coming back up. 2, standing tall, then as soon as you get into position, you can begin. So I can get those arms going again. There we go. Coordination is not always my strong suit, but hey, we can all practice. Work on those different movement patterns. You're doing this overhead motion, spread those fingers nice and wide as well. Open through that whole palm. Wonderful. All right, I'm gonna take it back into those rebounding hops. If you want to continue with the march to the high knee, you can. Otherwise, here we go, side to side. Make sure you stay nice and relaxed through your ankles. You should feel like your heels just barely graze the ground. Nice. Dance. Let's go 10 more seconds. Woo, 2, 1, and take that rest. All right, great session. We're gonna do a little bit of a stretch. And then if you're short on time, you just finish with a stretch and then move on. Otherwise, we got one more round coming up, some midline work. All right, after you grab a drink, we're gonna do a little bit more opening for the hip flexors and the triceps. And then a whole side body. If you're able to come down into a lunge, if you need to set your mat up, you have a hard surface underneath you, you can always double up the mat right underneath your knee. All right, let's come down. You want to mirror me, it's going to be like your left leg back, right leg forward, front shin vertical. Start by interlacing the fingers, reaching up to overhead, lifting up out of that hip, shift that back hip forward, squeeze the glute, and now we're going to start with a rotation. You can even grab your left wrist, rotate around, looking over that opposite shoulder. Nice deep breaths. And relax from there. Good job. Shake out the arms. Now we'll go into the tricep stretch. So reaching that arm up, chin in, bending that elbow, drawing it back. And now hip shift. So you get that open on the hip and now side bend towards that lead leg. And we're going to go in and out of it a few times. So we'll come back up, still stretching that arm back, sink back in, bend to the side. On the third one, we'll add the rotation. Come out of it, sink into it, and then as you choose, you can rotate looking up towards the ceiling or sky, past the elbow you're stretching, and release. Very nice. Shake that out, and let's come on up to the opposite side. Pull through that heel, switching legs. As you lower on down, keeping that front shin vertical, heel planted, we started with the fingers interlaced, stretching up tall to overhead. Really lift up out of your hips, shifting the hip forward, and now the rotation towards the front leg. You can grab your right wrist. Squeeze that trail hip, squeezing that tush. And release. Good job. Now we'll add that tricep stretch. Arm of that trail leg reaches up, bend the elbow, drawing it back, and just a nice gentle shift to the hips, bending to the side. Ooh, some feels good today. Had a long day of travel yesterday. Coming out of it, twice more. Shift the hip back, shift your hips forward, eyes up, sit tall or kneel tall. Good, one more time. Back, forward, eyes up. And now you can add that gentle rotation, period up to the sky, past the elbow. All the while still trying to engage that trail hip, squeeze the tush, and release. Beautiful job. All right, go ahead and stay on down to the ground. We're gonna come into a down on the forearms. And do a little bit of mobility for the mid back, and then we'll get going on this next circuit. So either on your hand with the hand behind the head, or if you wanna go deeper into the twist, you come all the way to the forearm. Our mid back rotations. Elbow comes towards that opposite elbow, lifting up, exhaling as you peer up towards the sky. Anywhere between 5 and 8 on each side. In through the nose, out through the mouth. feels like too much of a twist on the forearm, then come out of it onto the hand. Same thing, other side. I'll show from the hand this time. Be a little bit less rotation, a little bit not quite as deep into that twist, but definitely still beneficial. All right, couple more. And rest. Nice. All righty. I'm going to stay kneeling for a little behind the back stretch as I talk through what we're doing next. So we're going to have 4 rounds. Before we jump into it, we're going to stretch those forearms a little bit more. It's going to be 30 seconds of each station. Side plank on the left. Either a bridge, like a glute bridge, or a tabletop. We're going to do the glute bridge on round 1, and 3, I'll do tabletop, 1 and 2 tabletops on 3 and 4. So your call there. And then the last station, if you want some more blood flow work, some more challenge for your breathing capacity, we can go back to the burpees in just a standard burpee. If you're like, hey, I don't want that intensity today, then for that, the 4th station, hold a forearm plank. So your choice on those options. I'm going to show the burpee on the first 2 rounds and switch that forearm plank on rounds 3 and 4. But first, the forearms. Like we oftentimes start with classes, palms down, rotating those fingers in towards you. And then just lean on back. Good. Coming up, turn those hands so the fingers point in. And then we take it into our circular pattern. Good. Switch directions. Very nice. From here, let's take a moment to lower down into child stretch. So toes together, knees divide, walk the hands out, lower those hips on back. We'll hold this for 3 nice deep breaths into that lower spine, back of the rib cage. Very nice. And then coming on up, I'm going to shake out my mat here for a quick second. Beautiful. From here, we're going to start into that. Actually, I want to take you on your back really quick first. Give a little bit of a loosen up for that low back with that double kneaded chest, because we're going to have glute bridge for that second exercise. So let's come onto the spine, hug those legs in, and rock yourself side to side a bit. All right, very nice. Just a short little loosener for that low back. And then when you're ready, we're going to come onto your left side and we're going to move into those side planks. Standard side plank on the first round, and then I'll give some different options as we move through. So when you're ready, you're going to draw that elbow in, stack it just underneath those shoulders. 2, 1, and here we go. Up and hold. Eyes looking forward, chin in. Got this arm up overhead. I can also rest it on my hip halfway through. Watch the tendency for that front shoulder to roll forward and obviously those hips to sink down. So keep it up and square. And 2, 1. From here, onto the back for the glute bridge. Drawing those shoulders back and down, bending the knees. Rest the head back. And then when you're ready, just nice and gradual, raise the hips up, firing the back of the body. And lower down. So a couple different ways. You can hold that bridge at the top, or again, just pulse it down and lift it up. I'm going to show the pulse the first couple of rounds, and then we'll hold that bridge with the tabletop at the end. Really try to wake up as much of those muscle fibers as you can in the back of the body. One more time. And swing it around, coming onto your right arm. Back to the side plank. Draw that elbow in. 2, 1, begin. Eyes forward. All righty, holding strong. Get like a nice, soft little smile on your face. Remind your body that this is a positive thing for us to do for ourselves. Just under 10 seconds. And now you can either go onto your forearms or we'll go right into those burpees. 2, 1. So if you're going to hold the forearm, you just roll onto your forearms. See if you can go right into it. If you need a break, take a break. 30 seconds starts in 2, 1. Here we go. I'm going to do the burpees the first 2 rounds, planks the last 2 rounds. Good job. Showing the no push-up version here today. Anybody wants to go all the way to the chest, you're welcome to it. We're halfway through. As you hold that plank, folks, make sure those hips stay level. Good, almost done. And take a rest. Awesome job. 20 seconds, and then we'll be back for round 2 of the side plank. All righty. Returning to your left arm. And if you want to add a little variation, if it was simple for you to hold that 30 seconds, you can add the rotation. And 3, 2, 1, here we go. So for the rotation, you keep the hips high. You take that top arm, you reach underneath that bottom shoulder, and then back to the start. Breathing in as you reach under, breathing out as you return to your starting position. Good. Halfway. Oh, sorry, no, 20 seconds, over halfway. That's the good news. Two, 1, and rest. Here comes all the traffic. Onto your back. Glute bridge is next. And as soon as you get there, you can begin. Lowering them down, raise them up. And as much as we are engaging the back of the body, this is a great exercise to also focus on those smaller muscles of your pelvic floor. Imagine you're on the airplane and they say, no restrooms, folks. In your seats, holding strong, and you're like, I gotta go. Keep breathing here, lowering them down, raise them up. 10 more seconds. The older we get, the more we want to focus on all those small muscles. Keep our inside strong. Last one. And taking that pause, swing it around to your right arm. Back to the side plank or the rotations. Draw that elbow in. 3, 2, 1, begin. Hips and shoulders square. Our second of 4 rounds. Ten seconds. All right, last one. And rest. Good, so once again, you can hold that forearm plank or getting ready for the burpees. 2, 1, here we go. The last round I'm gonna do burpees. I'm gonna go to the forearm plank for the last 2 sets. Kind of bring the heart rate down a little bit. Anyone that wants a bit bigger challenge today, a little bit more blood flow work, then you're welcome to finish it out all the way through with the burpee. Woo! Final 10 seconds. 2, 1, and we'll take 20 seconds. Nice work, halfway through. All right, we're coming back to that side plank on your left arm. Pull that elbow in and begin. Coming on up on this next one, a couple different options. You can draw that knee up and into the chest or just hold that regular plank. So top leg, knee towards the chest, up and down without letting those hips drop. Eyes looking forward. Draw it up, place it back. Good, halfway. Just watch that tendency for that lower hip to drop down as you raise that top knee in towards the chest. Holding strong. And 2, 1, and swing it around. All right, so you can stick with that glute bridge. If you want to move into a tabletop, that means you're going to have those arms extended and rotating the hands behind you, and it's similar to the glute bridge from there. So it looks like this, drawing the shoulders back, raising those hips up. Once again, you can hold that top, or today I'm going to practice that pulse, lowering them down, raise them up. Excellent. Watch you don't let those knees dive in, keep them out. Find that big toe, push it down with your heels. And now broaden those shoulders, similar to when we're doing those dips. The top of the dip, you want to open the chest, draw the shoulders back. Good, maybe 1 or 2 more. And rest, great job. Third round of side planks, onto your right arm. We'll begin in 10 seconds. 2, 1, here we go. So holding that top position, option to do that knee lift. Rise up and forward, whoop. Challenge that balance a bit. Halfway through. Almost there. 2, 1, and short rest. All right, our fourth exercise, either the burpee, or as I mentioned, I'm going to go to that forearm plank. 3, 2, 1, begin. Chin in, holding strong. Nice. You moving through those burpees, great work. That's halfway. Good, strong plank, Sharon. Great, Kathy, moving well, Jean. Final 10 seconds. Might got a little extra time on this one. And 3, 2, 1, take a break. Feel free if you want to drop into child's for a moment. Woo. And now 15 seconds. We'll be into our fourth and final set. And then all that's left is a little cool down stretch. Final round of side planks, starting in 5. Back to your left arm and begin. Good, so this round, if you want that little extra challenge, you can do the leg lift, straight leg, lift straight up, and lowers on down. Watch the tendency for the hip to rotate out. So you want that toe to point forward as you raise it up and lower down. Good. For any variations, some of you choosing those rotations, that's great too. Ten seconds. Woo. Breathing, holding, and resting. Good job. Glute bridge or the tabletop. If you're doing that tabletop, draw those shoulders back, place the hands. And when you're ready, here we go. Good. Really nice opener for those shoulders. Opens the front of the hips, activates the back of the body. Breathing in as you lower the hips down, breathing out as they rise up. Good, 10 seconds. Two, 1, and rest. Good job. Final side plank. Onto your right arm. Draw the elbow in, extend the legs, and here we go. Any variation you want to balance out my body, I'm going to stick with those leg lifts. Toes pointing forward. Planks are a great thing to do in community. Have other people there hanging out, holding strong, building that midline strength. Have a nice strong spine. 10 seconds. Woo, I almost went backwards too. 1, and all done there. So you can come right into that forearm plank, or you can go right into your burpees. 30 seconds starts in 2, 1. Here we go. Final little hold or final little push. Draw that chin in, looking straight down between those forearms. Sometimes we want to interlace the hands. If you can, just place the palms like down on the floor. Try to avoid interlacing the hands. We're gonna go another 15 seconds. If you're starting to drop down, you can always go to the knees or just raise those hips back up. And all done there. Fantastic. Go ahead and take it back into child's. And let's do a supinated position this time. So little fingers together, rotate those palms up towards the sky. And now try to relax your body a bit with those nice deep breaths. Feel free to little noise out on the exhale if your body's asking for it. Good, coming up to all fours into our cat-cow. Nice wide handprint. Walk those knees in so that they're just underneath those hips. Exhale, pushing through, lifting up. Inhale that gentle arch. Very good. From there, let's take it into down dog, turning those toes under, hips go high, and a gentle pulse forward and back. Really draw that chin into the chest, guide that heart towards your thighs. And now pedal out those heels, one side and then the other. Fantastic. Go ahead and walk it up to standing. Slowly coming out of that forward fold. I'm going to use my friend the tree here. We're going to open up the chest a bit. So if you have a doorway or anywhere, a wall that you can anchor your arm down, we're going to open up the chest. So I'm going to put the elbow right about 90 degrees. Inside leg steps forward, leaning into it to get a nice opening here, and then rotating away. Rotate the head and neck, draw the shoulder down of the side that you're rotating towards. And then feel free if you want to add those backwards arm circles 2 to 3 times. See a nice circular opening through the shoulder. Breathing in as you reach out in front, breathing out as you circle back. Good, in between sides, let's get that hinge stretch. I'm going to turn and face the tree or face the wall. A chair works great as well. Place the hands about chest height, walk those feet back, and now lower that head on down. Without hyperextending your knees, you can gently take a little bit of a bend out of the knees. See if you can feel those hamstrings a bit more. When you're ready, coming on up, and then shoulder stretch, chest stretch on the other side. 90 degrees, anchor it down, leaning into it, and then rotate away. About a nice solid 3 breaths before you add those arm circles. And then when you're ready, if you'd like to add that up and back, breathing in as you reach forward, breathing out as you circle back. Fantastic. Last little bit, we're going to go behind the back stretch. So walk your feet nice and wide, anchor down into the floor, extend those arms back behind, lifting those arms up. And if you want to take into that forward fold, that long spine position, drawing those hands straight up to overhead. On your next inhale, coming on up. Good, and then our final stretch is going to be down on the ground. I'm going to come a little bit closer. We're going to do what's called the bretzel. Basically, we're going to take our body into a pretzel. If it's a little bit too much of a twist, you can also do like a side lying quad stretch. You might want to have your little block handy. So for the bretzel, you're going to come on back. Hug those legs in. Let's start with your right leg extended straight out on the ground. Kind of pull the left leg towards the chest. You're going to bring it across the body, like our traditional glute stretch through here. Now this is where I can use my block. So if I don't want to go too deep into the twist, I can put that block on its side, help protect this leg. And then to turn into that bretzel, we bend the bottom leg and look to grab the foot with the opposite hand. From here, square the shoulders best you can, center the head, and I want you to look straight up towards your ceiling or sky. Or ideally, just close those eyes and feel your body breathe. This twist should feel relaxing for your body. If it feels intense, please come out of it a bit. Got about another 10 seconds. And you're ready. Gradually unwind in between sides, double knee to chest. Hug the legs in, rock side to side. And we'll get set up for the same thing on the other side. I'm going to use my block again. I'll take it to the other side. Now we're going to extend the left leg straight out. Interlace the hands, draw the right knee towards the right shoulder. And then you'll gently bring it across the body, move into that glute stretch. You can go deeper into it without any pain. I've got my little block here. I'm going to rest my shin on the block. And then I look to bend that bottom leg and grab the foot with the opposite arm. Squaring those hips and shoulders, squaring the head and neck. We're going to spend about 30 seconds here. At this point, see if you can breathe in through the nose and out through the nose. And when you're ready, gradually unwind. If you want to return to that double knee to chest, or maybe a little two knee twist. Very nice. And then I invite you, after you finish, loosen up that low back. Feel free to extend the legs. You can reach your arms up to overhead, and then just nice and slow, circle them around, bringing them down to the sides. Palms up, and just take a minute here. Flat on your back. We can even hear a little bit of birds. All I hear is the wood chipper, though. Beautiful job, everyone. Thanks for being here today. Thanks for moving with me. And please take care of yourself. Enjoy the weekend. I'm going to enjoy this Georgia humidity here and look forward to seeing you all next week. I'll get to be on the road with my mom for Monday's class. Talk to you soon.